continues next week. I can't believe what we have witnessed.
It's a sad day and it's a happy day. Sad because the University of Colorado Athletic Department legend is retiring from active coaching. The winningest coach in the history of University of Colorado athletics, the record speaks for itself. 13-20 win seasons, 12 trips to the NCAA tournament, 6 NCAA regional Sweet 16 appearances, and more importantly, Ceal Barry graduated all but 3 of her 4-year players for well over a 95% graduation rate.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Honored today. Yes, she's been above great, but her autograph just went up in price. She's a Hall of Famer now. Congratulations. Ceal Barry joining us. What an honor last week for you.
It was so much fun. I heard from people that I haven't heard from since grade school. It was great.
That's something I would think. So you get into coaching for the love of the game and teaching and all the things that you get in. You don't even think about that kind of thing. So when it happens, it's probably not something you thought about, but now that it's here, it's a great honor. It's a great feather in your cap.
Well, when I started coaching, there was no building. There was no Hall of Fame. So if you're going to be a bust in the Hall of Fame, it was Wizard of Oz, I think.
Right. Well, what does this mean to you now that you're sitting here? Has it sunk in by now?
It has sunk in. And I'll say one thing. Getting the honor after you get out of coaching, you do have time to really kind of think about what it means to you.
Yeah.
I think if I was still in coaching, many coaches get it while they are in coaching. It's probably like one of those things is on your schedule you need to go do.
Right.
But I'm really excited about it and honored and humbled, and it's great.
When you look at the class you're going in with, it's a pretty special class of people going in with you.
Yeah, Shamiqua Holsclaw won national championships. Katie Smith, I coached USA basketball. I think it was world championships in Korea. Mickey DeMoss and Chris Daly, 2 of the greatest assistant coaches. So, yeah, they're threatening to sell out right now. They've never sold out the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm like, right on. I want to be in the sellout class.
Yeah, that's fantastic. A lot of times we hear people when they get a Hall of Fame type induction honor, they always say it's cliche, but it's just the honest truth. You wouldn't be here without a lot of people, and you've had a lot of people that blessed you and helped you along the way in your coaching career.
There's no question about it. First and foremost, assistant coaches.
Sure.
Assistant coaches never get the credit that they deserve. They're the ones really out there getting the players, evaluating the players, writing these recruiting letters back in the day, emails, texts.
Yep.
But also players that made the decision to come to Colorado.
Yeah, without question. She's a Buff great now. She's a Hall of Famer. In fact, she said a moment ago that she's heard from a lot of people. We also heard from a lot of people that wanted to congratulate the coach on her Hall of Fame honor.
Hey, Ceal, congratulations on being inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. You've been a great colleague, coach, and friend for so many years at Boulder. Congratulations.
Hey, Coach Barry. Just wanted to congratulate you on a well-deserved nomination into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
Congratulations for this fantastic honor. You are so deserving of this because of all that you've done at CU, and we are all really proud of you.
I wanted to send you my congratulations on being inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Well deserved and long overdue.
Congratulations, Ceal, on your selection to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Ceal. I'm really excited for you to be inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Well deserved, and it's about time, Ceal. You are one of the greatest coaches ever.
Ceal, congratulations on being inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I can't think of anyone in my life that's more deserving of such an incredible award.
Well, that's kind of a treat. Ceal Barry, now a Hall of Famer. That'll happen, by the way, later on this summer, June 9th, in fact, in Knoxville, Tennessee. What was the best message you think you got when the word came down you're going to be a Hall of Famer?
Oh, my gosh, Mark.
Putting you on the spot here,
I don't know. I got a lot. Benita Martin was particularly. Benita played for me 1989, 90, around there. She really kind of captured a lot of things. She got the good with the bad.
Right.
She talked about all the running we did when we turned the ball over at Utah back in the day. I don't know. She just talked about a lot of things that the sort of professional people become because of collegiate athletics.
Sure, yeah.
And when you're coaching, you do really need to make sure that 20 years later you're going to be proud of that person. So you're molding kids when they're 18, 19, 20, the importance of academics, all that stuff kind of comes under your purview when you're a coach.
I would have to think, too, and see, one of the things that they always say in coaching, there's only 6 inches between a pat in the back and a kick in the tail, right? And you had to do that, and sometimes it was tough love on players. It's got to be rewarding that all these years later when they come back and say, Coach, I didn't like it, but thank you.
Yeah, it's a real fine line. I mean, you can't get too negative. You get too negative, you'll lose them.
Sure.
If you're too positive, they take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So you're constantly walking that line between exactly what you said, kicking them, getting them going, motivating them. They come here after class, and I tell you, it was a fun job. It really was. I enjoyed 99% of it.
When you look back in your career now that you've had a little space in between, what stands out? What do you think about when you think of Coach Ceal Barry?
You know, I think about the players. I think about how much fun we had. We really had a great time. The bus rides, the pizza, sitting in the airport talking with kids. It was a great time. I loved it.
Coach, congratulations. Well deserved.
All right. Thanks so much.
Senior administrator, now Hall of Famer for the Colorado Buffaloes. Again, that'll take place in Knoxville, Tennessee on June 9th. Looking forward to it. Coming up next here in the Stampede, we're talking men's basketball. Assistant coach Kim English joins us next.
Number 1, number 2, a bench player doing that. That's huge.
Now it's Schwartz's turn to feed the perimeter, and Lucas Seward coming off a huge game against Stanford.
We continue in the Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Kim English, assistant coach for the Buffs, joining us. Tough weekend, road trip up to the Washington schools. Buffs fall to Wazoo, and then UW. Did you get the short end of the short straw this week? I mean, coming off 2 wins or 2 games like that? How did you end up on the show?
Yeah.
That had to be it.
I was asked to come, so
here we are. All right, 2 games last week. Disappointing road trip for the Buffaloes, though, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We talk about our standards all the time. You know, what we want to do every possession, defensively, our goals, offensively, as far as ball security and things of that nature.
Yeah.
We didn't do that, and the losses were outcomes from us not playing to our standards. With seniors, with a team that put itself in position to be playing for more at the end of February on into March, it was a disappointing week, but it's not fatal. It's not final. You know, there's still basketball to be played. There's still growth to be had. And we still have a great opportunity to play well into March, but you know, we have to shore up those issues that seem to keep biting us in the butt.
You know, and Kim was a great player at Missouri, by the way. So I asked this more of the Kim English as a player question right here. Is there a hangover effect on games? I mean, that game last Thursday on the road at Wazoo, a team that was sitting at the bottom of the conference, was a game I think this team expected to win. Should have won that ball game. Can one game affect you to the next?
Winning the game, you know, the final score when it's 40 is out of your control.
Right.
That is so much. You shouldn't even be thinking about that. We challenge our guys to only think about winning the possession. Looking back, I'd love to get the taste out of my mouth after a bad game right away. You know, one day off and then right back at it. And again, it's this time of the year. I mean, it's if guys want to play professional basketball, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. So it shouldn't be a hangover, especially if you have something to play for this time of the year.
This is your first year of the program. When you watch this team, it's been a different team home and away, hasn't it? What do you see?
Yeah, it's definitely been a different team home and away. I mean, I think in conference we have 1 loss at home, and in conference we have
1 win.
1 win on the road. What that is, I don't know. You know, Coach Boyle always uses a Coach McCartney quote. He says that everything rises and falls on leadership. And I think that's great and something I hope to have throughout my career. But as a leader and a senior, going back to me as a player, everything rose and fell on me.
Sure.
As a veteran of a team. And that's what we need from this team, is for guys to take great ownership of the team, of the plays, of executing, of being tough, finishing possessions. That's what needs to take place for us.
This team here has a guy in his first year who's become a leader on this team. Speaking, of course, of point guard McKinley Wright, what do you appreciate about him as a player when you watch him as he's developing?
His toughness, his tenacity, his willingness to learn. He's extremely coachable, which is great to see in one of your best players. He's going to be so good. He's going to be such a great leader moving forward. And he's doing it now. I mean, he's saying stuff in the locker room. He's saying stuff in games. He's saying stuff in timeouts. McKinley Wright, I think Coach says it's better shooters. It's point guards that are better shooters. It's point guards that are better passers. I don't think there's a better point guard in the country as far as all the things he does from an intangible standpoint.
Yeah.
Playing tough, defending. Might not be a better rebounding point guard in the country. He's very special, a joy to be around, and I'm very fortunate to be able to be a part of his development.
Well, it's going to be a big week for the Buffaloes. Good luck on Wednesday with that ball game against USC.
Thank you.
All right, Assistant Coach Kim English joining us. Buffaloes have got the 2 LA schools this week. Final regular season game the following week at Utah before the Pac-12 tourney in Las Vegas. Coming up next, we're talking CU women's basketball coming off a sweep at home this past weekend.
Steps inside the arc and nails the mid-range jumper.
And we continue in the Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. What a weekend for the Colorado women's basketball team, sweeping 2 ball games in the final regular season games here at the Coors Event Center, knocking off UW and Washington State. One of the 2 seniors for the Buffs, Brecca Thomas, joining us here for a couple of minutes. That's a way to wrap up your college career right there. A couple of nice wins, huh?
Yep. It was a great weekend for us, for sure.
How was the senior experience, though? It's amazing how quickly the college career goes by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I feel like it was just yesterday that I was, coming here.
Wet behind the ears freshman, you walked on, didn't know anything from anything. Now you're a wise old senior.
Yep, and it's been a great experience. It's been a journey, an adventure, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
How did you end up here? You're from Texas. Mm-hmm. How did you end up being a Buffalo?
When I came on my unofficial, I think it was, I can't even remember, it was like sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
I just fell in love with the city and the people. The people here are so beautiful. They're so kind, friendly, and I fell in love with that first and foremost. And then I came to see the basketball team and the coaches and just the teammates, the young women that I was around. They were just amazing young women, and I didn't even want to go anywhere else. I was just fell in love with the team and the city.
How did the family feel about you going away from home like that?
It was. They definitely didn't want me to go too far.
Right.
So Colorado was just far enough for them. It was a nice plane ride for them to be able to come to some games and get to see me. And then we play on the Pac-12, so that's always nice. They have Pac-12 networks, so that was it was easy for them, but it wasn't the easiest thing.
Okay, now be honest. You went through those senior day festivities on Sunday. You had to walk out there. Had the parents. Did you get emotional?
I think a little emotional, but it's a bittersweet feel. I have to go into the adulting realm now of my life, so I have to figure things out.
Don't go into the adult realm. Stay there where you are.
I have to grow up a little bit, but that's the bitter feeling. But also, it's also bitter leaving my teammates.
Sure.
I love all the young women I've got to play with my 4 years here, and all the people I've met. So I'm forever grateful, forever blessed. But I did good a little, but I think I held it in and held it together pretty well.
That's okay. Brecca Thomas, of course, there's 2 seniors for the Buffaloes. The other is Zoe Coryell.
It's been awesome. I've met my best friends here. I've some of which aren't even here anymore, and still I'm going to see them, and they're coming to see me. And I think that's the thing I wouldn't trade for the world. The people I've met and the things they've taught me, and the way they've supported me and lifted me, and the way I've been able to lift them is just that's been the best thing to me. I learned a lot about myself. I learned about all the things that could take. I learned that I am not easily broken. I learned that I learned how to persevere a lot more than I thought I was capable of. I learned that I've changed so much and I've grown a lot and I've grown to understand a lot. And I feel like I really kind of came into myself being here. I learned a lot about myself and I was kind of able to grow and kind of figure out who I am. Yeah, being a Buff, I think I encompass that in everything. I encompass that in my basketball experience, in my personal experiences, in my experience with all the support that's here. And I think being a Buff has been important because it's all encapsulating. It's everything that's been going on. It's the hard practices, it's the hard games, it was the hard preseason run. Being a Buff is being here and having this experience makes me a Buff, and I think it's been important.
All right, so there's the other scene of Zoe Coryell. Give us a thought or two about Zoe as a teammate over the years.
Zoe is a great person. She's one of my bestest friends. We came in together. We've experienced everything together. Mm-hmm. There's not even one word to really describe Zoe. She's just like a funny, great, caring person, loving, and I'm forever grateful for her. Being able to have this experience and share this experience with her.
What's a memory that stands out for you during your career? I mean, you think back to the game at Utah here a few weeks ago. Buffs were in a 16-point hole to start the game. You were a huge part of them coming back and winning that ball game. But what's a memory that stands out for you?
For this year, I'd definitely say the Utah game and the Miami game. Though, Utah was a big game for us. It was on the road, and we always struggle on the road at Utah. The Miami game earlier on this year, they were a ranked team, so it was nice to beat them. And then if I go way back to my freshman year, I remember beating Oregon State in the Pac-12 tournament. That was always a big highlight of my career because they were like ranked number 1 and we were at the bottom of the ranking. So that was a great highlight as well.
A lot of times we start talking about senior day festivities, you forget the fact there's more basketball left here. You're not done yet. You got to be thinking about the stretch, and you're playing some pretty good basketball as a team right now.
Yep, we have 2 more games, UCLA and USC, and then after that we go into the Pac-12 tournament. And the Pac-12 tournament, at that time it's anyone's game. You come to play, you show up, and the better team that day, regardless of the rankings, is who gets to move on and who wins. So I think it's going to be a great next couple of weeks for us. We're getting prepared and we're staying focused so we can be prepared to take on whoever we get picked to play in the tournament. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the career. It's not over yet.
Yeah,
but congratulations at this point.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's senior Brecca Thomas. CU women on the road against the LA schools this week. We're going to take a quick time out here on the Stampede. When we come back, we're talking women's lacrosse.
Finding McClay underneath in the score. Katie McClay, the Buffs knock off the number 9 team in the country.
Back one final time in the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. It's lacrosse season. Team ranked number 20 in the country. Sarah Brown, senior for the Buffaloes, joining us here. All right, so a decent start to the season. Great win to start things off against Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that ballgame.
The season's been very different and very hard, but we're hopefully finding our groove, and I think we showed a little bit of it in Northwestern. We definitely didn't bring the energy that we needed.
Okay.
But we definitely saw that we can play together and that we're here to play. We definitely need to work on a lot of things, but I think it's getting there.
Well, I was going to say, too, it's not like they had an easy schedule off the top here. They had a big win against Michigan.
Yeah.
Then he had, Florida. Top 10 team, and then a top 15 team in Northwestern. So you kind of dove into the deep end of the pool here to start off this season.
You just got to play the best to be the best.
Right. Coming back this year, you were an All-American a year ago. Does that put extra pressure on you coming back with those kind of credentials? Or is it, I'm one of the better players, and so I've got to be in a leadership role? How do you look at that?
I've never been the person to look at stats or anything, so every year I kind of just try to go in and play the best that I can, and just try to be a leader for my teammates if I can help in any way. But I try not to think about that because, it doesn't matter. It could be a completely different year, you know?
How do you think you're a better player now as a senior, as you've worked your way through your career?
Just experience, honestly, is great. And just being able to know and trust your teammates and learn who they are, and you definitely end up having better relationship with the coaches, and yourself more as a player and what you can do and what you can work on, and what your goals are. So.
Sure. Now, as you were talking about, you don't put any credence or extra pressure because of being an All-American type thing, but being a senior does come with responsibility, doesn't it, in terms of being a leader, and how does that kind of exhibit itself in you as a senior player for this team?
You definitely think, wow, this is my last year,
right?
Last semester as a player, and you want to put everything that you have on the field, and he just, I know a lot of the graduated alum have said they would love to be back running with us, running 300s.
Yes. Believe it or not, right?
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but I really wish I was running.
Sure.
So,
do you ever coach young players a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I coach for NoCo Select.
Okay. How about on your own team, though? I mean, as a senior, do you maybe say, hey, pick the pace up a little bit, let's do this a little bit, let's be more efficient under these circumstances?
Well, of course. I mean, I feel like everyone does that. You always try to pick up the energy, or if somebody does something wrong, if I do something wrong, I hope somebody tells me.
Right.
You know.
You're a Boulder native.
Yes.
Was there ever a doubt you were going to be a Buffalo?
Yes, there was.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Oh, we're breaking news here on the Buffalo Stampede this week.
I wanted to get out of Colorado, you know.
Why would you ever want to leave Colorado?
Well, I lived in 2 other states. I thought I wanted to go back there, but I'm really glad. I think everything kind of happens for a reason, and I think I was meant to play, and
I think the family was happy you stayed home to play.
well, I hope so.
All right, now this weekend you got your first home game coming up, right?
Yes.
On Sunday, and you've got one of your old conference foes out there in San Diego State, so a big opportunity for Colorado.
Yep. It's very exciting to have the first home game. First home game was last year when we played Northwestern. It was really fun. We had a lot more fans, and we beat them last year, which is great. But it's really exciting.
Yeah. The idea now that there's a Pac-12 conference for lacrosse.
Yeah.
Been a great transition, and really kind of ups the game a little bit for the entire program, doesn't it?
Yeah, the fact that it's here, that's really exciting too, and just being able to really be part of the Pac-12 now, especially for our senior year, is just incredible.
All right. Well, good luck your senior year. Keep up the good work, and let's get ready for that big tournament.
Thank you.
All right, Sarah Brown. By the way, that game against San Diego State just before the men's basketball game on Sunday versus UCLA. They've got San Diego State at 12 noon. You get a twofer right here on campus. Come on out and cheer on both teams on Sundays. We put a wrap on the Buffalo Stampede. We'll talk to you next week.